much is just a little fast.
Like I said, too much time
What?
right now, so.
Yes, he was. No, that's an hour.
Like, okay, how do we do this again?
Yeah, mine.
Drive all that way just to see.
I wanted to get it going just a little bit before.
Isn't
Go
that
there,
so
you know, if they don't see it going, they'll be like, oh,
Watch the background noise if you can.
it's good to actually start a little bit.
Give some time to
And
get
hold on.
vodka with something in it or.
Hey.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good? Good, a little bit cooler, getting nicer out?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said they can hire me for Santa Claus.
Absolutely. Yeah, my laugh.
There was an
You
official
ready?
looking truck over at the new house.
Okay.
And,
Hold on, I gotta get Sarah on the phone, she's traveling back here. Hold
That's
on.
what it is. I wouldn't expect Jed Carter to be here, because never.
Glad it wasn't like that when I was.
Oh, it's getting even crazier just because of every regulation.
Chuck's down
Regulations now.
Regulating the regulators.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got, you know, what is that? Border Patrol agents shooting each other.
Oh, good.
Or IRS, my bad.
Oh,
Those
well,
two IRS agents. It's like, really, what are you guys doing for the first?
Okay.
You're a tax collector, dude.
I don't, well, maybe it's self-defense, as soon as you say IRS.
Just don't really care.
Yeah.
Just don't really care.
Hi, Sarah. Okay, I got you. Let me merge you with Jed and Jeremy. Hold on.
If you're not rigid. Make sure this is still working.
Hold on. Sarah? Jed? Jeremy? Hey, I'm batting 1,000. Thank you. Okay. Hold on, you're going on speaker.
What's all that now?
Beats me.
Oh, my God.
It just worked.
Yeah, I looked at some of the things on the 7 to 11 on, huh? I don't know.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Moore, the chair for the Black Canyon City Water Improvement District. The time is 5:04 p.m. and I would like to call to order the Tuesday, September 26th, 2023 Black Canyon City Water Improvement District regular board meeting, which is open to the public and being held at the Black Canyon City Public Library. And our first order of business is roll call. Again, I'm Dave Moore, chair.
Dorothy Moore, treasurer.
Dick Carter, vice chair, acting secretary. Jeremy Bruckner, member at large.
Thank you, gentlemen. Jeremy Bruckner and Jed Carter are both telephonic. And from management, we have our manager of operations, Bob Hannes, and also Joe Thompson is with Bob Hannes. And telephonically is Sarah Rabina, the management of the office. Sarah, are you with me?
I am here, yes.
All right. Okay, Agenda item 2 is our customary reflection time where we take just a moment of silence, if we could, please. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Dave? Dave?
Yes, Sarah.
Yeah, excuse me. Could you announce who's there from the public?
Oh.
For the record?
I'm sorry, say that again?
If the public.
Could you announce who's there from the public for the record?
Yes, thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Do you,
Greg Watts, owner user?
Christina Roberts, owner user. Frankie Reed, Wagon Wheel.
Tom Strezak, owner user.
Mike Henderson, same.
Mary Hoadley, Upper Iowa Free Watershed Partnership.
Eva Burst.
Lane Clayton, owner user.
thank you all.
For the record, I'm not an owner, I'm a renter,
Dave, would
sorry.
you mind jotting down
But-
those names?
Use
Because
it.
I didn't hardly get any of them from the discussion. So if you or Dorothy would jot them down. just
Well, I
to
was
make sure that I
trying
have
to,
them.
but I went by too fast.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, I'll help you out here. Although I have it on two separate tape recorders.
Yeah, okay, that's fine then. I'll get it off of that.
All right. Anything else, Sarah?
And I got another one.
We'll get it too. Oh, hi, I'm sorry. What was your name?
Tina?
Tina Fair?
Mhm.
And Tina Fair has joined us. Thank you very much for coming, Tina. All right, board member reports. Jeremy Bruckner, you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Uh,
I have
you're,
nothing really further report at this time.
you're still working on the, online payment system, correct? And you've narrowed it down to 2, and you still have a couple pieces of information, as I recall from an email you sent me?
Well, yeah, there's nothing further on that development.
Okay. I'll put it on, the October agenda, and we'll see where we are then. Thank you. Jed, do you have anything?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
I didn't.
Dorothy?
Sarah put, agendas up. I saw one at the post office.
Oh, the agenda posting?
Post office.
Post office, outside the building, online, and on the website. Okay. Online being Facebook, I'm sorry. Let me be specific, there on several sites on Facebook. Okay, and I have, a couple things. I could not put the, Water Angel program that the board is very interested in implementing that would allow, I couldn't put it on this agenda because of how packed this agenda was. But we have made some progress. I am still rewriting the water agenda program, and what this is, it allows people that know others to be able to contribute and say, could you point that at so-and-so anonymously, and have them pay all or portions of their water bill. And it's for those that are willing and able to donate to that. We have some seed money that we'll be getting very soon. That's $1,000 from Tech. It's from TechNet, an internet company that is serving Black Canyon City and will be much more known because they're finishing up 2 tower locations. One is on our water tank, and they volunteered to donate for whatever purpose we wanted, and the board thought that the Water Angel program would be a great program. So that's what we're gonna do with that 1,000. at least for seed money. So, that'll be on the agenda next month.
Speaking, do you
Yes,
have
sir.
the agenda papers that you usually give us? You hand out?
The one Sarah gives to you?
Yeah.
Do you have a blank one? You don't.
Oh,
Bob,
yes.
do you have a blank one?
Do not.
No blank.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we've been writing
Well,
it.
you wouldn't like mine, Tom.
That's all right. Yeah,
You can, mine
Sarah
only
didn't
has
make
a
it, so
little
she
bit
didn't
of
bring it.
that's
writing.
okay. I already read it. I just wondered if you had them for,
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Sorry
Sarah's
about
not
that.
here yet.
Sarah normally makes a dozen or more copies.
Right.
She's traveling.
Well,
She's got him in a car.
Oh,
Oh, you have them?
well,
The be two of you with you within a half an hour, Tom, probably.
no, we don't need that. I mean, we're okay.
See how responsive we are? That's fine, Sarah.
Thanks.
Timely manner. I love the water angel idea, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
The board loves it. I think the
Angel
the
Bird,
people that get a little help here and there are gonna love it as well. So, we're gonna implement it, we'll keep funding it, I'm sure some board members will contribute to it, and I'm sure a lot of owner users
yes.
will contribute to it.
Mhm.
We all know somebody that needs a little help
Absolutely.
now and then. So. We do follow an informal Robert's Rules of Order. Just a reminder for those that haven't been here in a while. The chair, which is myself, has the floor at all times until I relinquish it to somebody that is asking to speak during public call. And our next agenda item is agenda item 4, which is the approval of the July 25th, 2023 regular board meeting minutes. All board members and management have a copy of the unofficial minutes for approval. Has everybody read that? Jed, Jeremy?
Yes.
yes.
Yes. All right. Any errors or corrections that need to be made?
No.
I didn't catch any.
Dorothy caught a couple, but Sarah corrected them before she put these out in the board packet. So,
Do you do Monday?
no, I have none.
So,
Go.
Hmm?
Go ahead if you want to make a motion.
okay, I make a motion
To approve
to approve the minutes.
the July 25th, okay. Can I get a second?
I, Jeremy Bruckner, second.
Jeremy Brucker, second. All in favor say aye. Okay, motion carries unanimously. Okay. Agenda item 5 is our treasurer's financial report for approval as of July 31st and August 31st, 2 months, because we were dark in August of 2023. Dorothy, can you give us a recap on these two?
Yeah.
And if you need to pass that off because of this, let me know.
No, I'm okay. Okay, financial management report for approval as of 7/31/2023. QuickBook balances for all bank accounts. The total all accounts, beginning total $588,692.26. Ending total $558,727.39. That's a negative difference of $29,964.87. Also, 2 monthly cash management reports are attached showing actual total receipts deposited, all sources in July, $58,896.69, and less the monthly scanner fee of $45, the Bank of the West merchant fees of $258.25, return check and bank fee, and I believe there was 2 of those, for $165.12. The return check, Bank of the West posted on July 31st, QuickBooks posted it on August 10th, so that entry had to be adjusted. It's $275 even. Actual total disbursements for the month in July was $88,118.19. Total all accounts, balancing with above reconciliation was a negative $29,964.87. The July billing total was $55,063.54. The July gallonage was 5,487,000 gallons. The July 2020 comparison was 5,997 gallons, and the previous month was 5,215,000 gallons. So the total for the fiscal year 2020-2023 is 5,487,000 gallons. That's 1 month. Previous 2021-2022 comparison was 5,997,000 gallons for 1 month. Financials include QuickBook invoices 3335 to 3353 and enhanced audits 2988 through 21061, with the accounts receivable in both enhanced and QuickBooks balancing at $36,003.13.
Your fiscal years are wrong here.
Well, this is last year and this.
Oh, but
Oh, I see.
this is 21, 22?
Well, ask Sarah.
I'm sorry, mine is wrong. How? Okay. Carry on.
Okay, where was I?
Carry on.
Credit and debit card payments, there was a total of 90 transactions processed. Batch number 293 to 314. There were 54 debits and 36 credits. Total processed was $7,368.99. Review of all audit adjustments was done, delinquent and penalty fees posted, final reads, refund of security deposits, rereads, correction, turn on, turn offs. There was 1 impact fee processed in July on audit number 21000 on account 2086 for $2,500. Attached to the monthly journal entries for approval, respectfully submitted by Sarah Bina Management and Dorothy Moore Treasurer. Financial management report for approval as of August 31st, 2023. QuickBook balances for all bank accounts. The total on accounts, the beginning total was $558,727.39. The ending total was $587,059.11. That's a positive difference of $28,331.72. Also, 2 monthly cash management reports are attached showing actual total receipts deposited, all sources in August, $59,402.25, and less general journal cash account entries. The monthly scanner fee of $45, the Bank of the West merchant fees of $249.32, a return check and a bank fee of $61.56, and the actual total disbursements for the month in August was $30,714.65. So total all accounts balancing with above reconciliation was $28,331.72. The August billing total was $56,723.40. August gallons was 5,708,000 gallons, and the August 2022 comparison was 5,650,000 gallons. Previous month was 5,487,000 gallons. Total for the fiscal year 2022-2023 was 11,195,000 gallons, and that's 2 months. Previous 2021-2022 comparison was 11,647,000 gallons for 2 months. Financials include QuickBook invoices 3354 to 3375. Enhanced audits number 21062 through 21133, with the accounts receivable in both Enhanced and QuickBooks balancing at $36,170.52. Debit and credit payments processed were 122 transactions. They processed batch 315 to 339. There were 67 debits and 55 credits. The total process was $11,096.85. That's the highest we've had on the debit and credit payments.
Oh, fantastic.
Review of all audit adjustments was done. Delinquent and penalties posted, final reads, refund security deposits, rereads, correction, turn-on, turn-offs. No impact fee was processed in August. Attached to the monthly general journal entries for approval, respectfully submitted Sarah Rabina, Management, and Dorothy Montreux.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Excellent.
Well, I thought we had, used more than we did last year. Gallons,
Water
yeah,
in this last report?
yeah.
Mhm.
Cause it was hotter than last year.
Yeah, well, about 450,000 gallons
Well, that's
for the
not-
2 months.
Oh, that's not bad.
No,
Okay, thank you.
no, it's not.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's not bad at all. I don't know where he is. Keep the ruckus down.
He's in TV land.
We're kid land.
Any questions from the board? Jeremy, Jed?
I have no questions. No questions.
Any corrections that either of you noticed?
I guess that's enough.
I didn't notice.
None? Okay. Let me see your financials. I have one, and I don't understand how this is even possible.
Which month?
This right here. We'll start with July. See the previous 2021?
Oh, you're in the years.
No, 2021 to 2022.
I don't know.
Both of mine say 22 to 23,
Okay.
which they should, not this 21, 22. So I don't get it. 'Cause,
Well, we'll ask Sarah.
yeah, it's not a big deal, but I'd rather have it be correct. So I'm noting that on Dorothy's copy.
On my copy?
I'm noting that that is what your copy is, but since mine is newer, I assume that this is what is gonna be posted.
Probably, yes.
Okay. Jed, Jeremy, either one of you wanna make a motion for approval on the 2 reports?
I'll make a motion for approval on the report for July and August.
Is that it?
Is that Jed?
Yes.
Jed Carter so moves. May I have a second?
I second that.
Jeremy Bruckner seconds.
Okay.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you again. Agenda item number 6 is the operations report for approval as of 9/22/2023.
Alright, so this is the board report for July 23 through September 22nd. We had 101 work orders, we completed 101. That included 4 turn-offs, 4 turn-ons, 4 turn-offs, 1 new meter, 35 meter valve box repair replacements, 9 main line or service line breaks or leaks, 4 booster pump systems repaired, 26 meter rereads, final reads, 4 pressure conditions, and 11 customer services. So we had the 4 turn-ons, one was at 19200 Mesquite, that was for some repair work at their house. We had one at 18699 Wanda, there's a returning customer that asked us to turn it on. We had one at 19080 Mesquite, customer paid their back fees, so they were able to turn them on. 34480 Golden Lane, there's a new owner there. The 4 turn-offs, one was at 19200 Mesquite, for the repair work. 19253 Church.
Excuse me, could you just state the street name?
No,
Don't
the
give the
house
address.
number.
Okay, gotcha. So we turn off on Mesquite. Church Street, we locked off one on Spencer and one on Mesquite. We installed the new meter on Sunrise. We did a lot of meter box cleaning with the rain, so you had to clean out a bunch of boxes. So we had one at Wagon Wheel, Mud Springs, Old Mud Springs, Westridge, Cat Claw Drive, Scenic Loop. That one we actually had to repair the whip at the same time. Vine Street we cleaned. We had a broken valve on Kings Way. Cleaned a box on Albans, Nasty Basin, and 2 on Maureen. Another one on Nasty Basin. We repaired a meter box on Lisa, where somebody drove over the meter box. We had vegetation removal on Church. Repaired one of the meter whips on Roadrunner. We had a damaged valve on Wagon Wheel, and then we cleaned more boxes on Happy Jack, Lisa, Westridge, Panorama, Mesquite. On Wanda, we replaced a meter box. We did 2 cleanings on Sunrise, another one on Mesquite, 2 on Kings Way. We did some vegetation removal on River's Edge. And then we replaced meters at Sunrise and Maggie Mine. And then the last one was on Velvet Rose. We did a clean out and we replaced the glass on the actual meter. We had main lines or service breaks. We had a leak at meters on East Valley Drive, one on Phyllis, one on Mesquite, South Valley, Maggie Mine, Old Mud Springs, Valley Drive. And then we investigated 2 meter leaks at, on service lines, and these were on the customer side. One on Ridgeway and then one on Abbott Alley that they took care of.
Okay.
Well booster pump system repair. We had a leak on the 4-inch saddle at Big John. Indian Hills, we had a leak on the copper tubing on the valve. GOA, we had chlorine line issues. And we installed a new meter panel. I'll mention that twice in this report.
I saw it twice. I saw you had written it twice. The last page also includes it. That's when we'll celebrate.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
there you go.
Go ahead, Bob.
So meter rereads, we had 26 rereads and 4 finals.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That
And
is
this
a lot.
It's 2 months, but yeah, it's a
yeah.
lot. Yes. So Old Black Canyon Highway, we had a reread. That one was a mistake, so we credited. Wagon Wheel reread, it was okay. Vladimir is a reread because the box was locked. We didn't have access to it.
Now, how's that possible? How is that possible?
So the gate, I think the gate's locked, so we have to call them. We do an estimate and then we call them.
Locked box.
So it's behind, the meter box is behind the
There.
gate.
Yeah, they
Lock
had the
gate.
gate.
Yeah.
So the box
Yeah, yeah.
itself
Yeah,
is
it's
not
not
locked.
Yep.
Okay. It's just behind the gate.
Locked
All right,
access.
I got it.
guess is what my note should have been.
Okay.
Cactus Cove, a reread, was a mistake. We had to give them a credit. Indian Hills reread, that one was okay. Schoolhouse reread, credit. Old Black Canyon Highway reread, that one was okay. Sunrise Circle reread, gave him a credit. Thompson reread, that one was okay. Old Black Canyon Highway, it was a reread, that one was estimated. So when the bill goes out, they call and go, hey, that can't be right. So then we go out and make an appointment to go read the meter with them. So that happened there. Anyways, Hill Street reread, that one was a credit. Wagon Wheel and Wyatt, both those rereads were okay. Lisa and Sunrise, those were bad and we had to credit. the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 were all okay, and those were on Palo Verde, Kingsway, Scenic Loop, Abbott Alley, Kingsway, Old Black Canyon Way, that should probably was Highway, Maggie Mine, Tin Cup Trail, Mesquite. Red one on West Ridge, that one was a credit. Then we had one on Valley, which was okay. And, 4 final reads, one on Wyatt, one on Buckskin, one on Kingsway, and then one on Wagon Wheel. We had 3 pressure condition questions. One on Old Black Canyon Highway. They were complaining that the pressure was too high. That's the first that I've ever heard of anybody complaining pressure was too high.
Mine's too
So,
65 pounds?
60 pound, yeah, 65.
Mine's 75, maybe,
Yeah, it's about,
which is a little high. You know what they want for a reducing? Yeah, that's why I don't have a reducing.
All right, so we had an issue at Squaw Peak. The booster pump got airlocked. We had some air in the line, and it caused the booster pump to not put out water. Abbott Alley, we had a pressure check, and that one checked out okay. Not sure what the issue really was there, but they were fine with the pressure that we were providing. Customer service, we met with Yavapai County to deal with the valve location on Black Canyon Highway. We had a shut off on Lisa for customer repair, on Wagon Wheel, shut off for customer repair. Roadrunner, no water, the customer had shut it off. They had called and complained that they had no water. The husband had shut the water off and the wife didn't know. So, he was doing some work. So anyways,
Communication there.
Albin's Way, investigated a water leak. Sunrise, meter investigation, there was 0 flow.
I ended up changing that.
We changed that meter out. That's one of the meters that we changed out.
Change the meter? Okay.
Yep. And then got contact with somebody on Old Black Canyon Highway for a new meter service. They're gonna, for a new service. Yeah. Maggie Mine, not sure.
What's a budget test?
I'm not sure what that was.
Bucket.
Bucket. Oh,
bucket.
Oh, so yeah, I'm like,
Bucket
what do we
test.
do? Yeah.
I
bucket test.
replaced that lady's meter.
Okay,
too,
that one was replaced also. Up on Wagon Wheel, we had to bleed some air. Vine Street, new customer service questions to a new lot. Cactus Way, we did a pressure test and that one read 30, so we were fine there. Blue stakes, we did 157 blue stakes in the last 2 months. Pink slips, there was 84 in August and 79 in September. Water samples, the last quarter that which was ended this month, within the quarter. Big John was at 5.8. So this is for arsenic. Big John was 5.8, Oasis is 2.8, and GOA is 1.2. And again, our limit's 10. So well below our limits. The two.
So Oasis and GOA are almost brand new. I mean, they're looking good.
Yeah.
This 5.8 on Big John, it's still well away from 10. But the quarter before was 2.1, so that's got to be an outlier.
Yeah, and I don't know if that
What do you
was.
think, Joe? I mean, you got 5.2, 5.5, 2.1 back in
Yeah, I see that.
back in May.
Well, that may have been right after we flushed,
Backwash
the system. I cleaned all the media again.
I was wondering if it might have been surface water. So,
Oh, Okay,
You know, that was after all
Alright.
this snow melt rain.
Oh, yeah.
So that might have dropped the arsenic level too, because it was
okay.
We had so much water.
Water
through the river.
in the river.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
thanks,
I don't-
thank you.
The 2 monthly total coliform samples were taken on, we did 2 in August, 2 in September, both of those came back absent, so we were sitting good there. We did the annual trihalomethanes and AH5s, Halex, it's a, yeah, however you pronounce it, it's an
I
acid.
can't say it.
Yeah. Let's see, so we are at Choya site, 0.0153, the limit is 0.08, so well below. The AH5 is 0.0039, the limit is 0.06. For Happy Jack, where we pulled the sample, we're at 0.03 for the TTHMs, and AH5s is 0.006. So the TTHMs and AH5s are disinfection byproducts of chlorine in the water. They react with the organic material. So that's what that is. We did our 10 lead and copper samples. We were sitting good. We were 0.2 for copper. The limit is 1.3. Lead was 0.00.
Lead's high, if
Yeah,
that's the
that's
numbers
the
right.
highest. We had one that was above the MCL. The other 9 are below. So the system passes based on, it has to, the rule states that 90% have to be below the MCL.
So it was.
Squeaker.
Yeah.
You got there.
Yeah.
You're allowed 1 fail.
Well, yeah.
It's not that
And
high,
it's
but it's still
barely-
high.
Yeah, it's barely above, yeah. The well stats, we're sitting okay. Big John is 19.5. Static draw is 21.9. Oasis is 21.4. Static, this is well 1, Oasis 1. The draw is 23.1. Oasis 2, the static is 21.4, the draw is 23.3. GOA, static is 19.7, and the draw is 21.3. GOA 3 is 20 static and 22.4 on the draw. Projects, GOA well site, the replacement of the meter pedestal is done.
Fantastic.
Woohoo!
Finally. Yay.
Yeah. Big John,
That
well,
was quick. Over a year.
yeah,
Thank you, county.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we got it. Moving forward, Big John well site, we're working on reviewing bids. We're meeting with another potential driller tomorrow on site at 10 o'clock.
That's an agenda item on the.
Oh,
Big John
sorry.
Street. But that is interesting because that's news to me. So I have several questions on that based on your statement, so that's okay. We'll get to it though. It's
Okay.
agenda item 8. Thank you, Bob. Any questions from Jed or Jeremy?
I have nothing.
Okay, Jeremy?
Congratulations on that pedestal finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
So sorry.
Oh, hi Sarah.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, I didn't see.
Jed, you have nothing? No. Okay. Nothing? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the July 23rd through September 22nd, 2023 Management Operations Report. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Dorothy Moore seconds. All in favor say aye.
Alright.
Aye.
Jed, I'm not getting you, brother.
Aye.
There he is. Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much, Bob.
Thank you.
Agenda item 7 is the Oasis and GOA well sites electrical improvements and cleanup discussion. All the board members and management have a copy of some information that Bob Hannes put together that kind of encapsulates what he is proposing for these two sites, and what needs to be done. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Bob, and
Okay.
deal with Oasis first, if you would.
Yep, okay, so at Oasis, well number 2 needs to be rewired. From the breaker to the wellhead, it's direct vary wire, and we're getting some shorts in it and it's tripping out. And so we want to trench it, put conduit in, and lay in new wire. So that would be the first thing that we start with there. So hopefully that would resolve some of our issues. We're also looking at the breaker box. We're getting some arcing that's happening in the breaker boxes. They're getting old, breakers are starting to fail. So we just want to go in and update the panels. We also want to put in a frequency drive at Oasis, and have one pump run as the lead, running off of the frequency drive, and then have the second pump act as its backup. And we feel that running one of the pumps on frequency drive is going to reduce the amount of water hammer that we're getting and potentially help longevity of our pipes, distribution lines. Less water hammer, less breakage, we're hoping. So that's kind of what we're trying to do at Oasis.
Okay. And that's gonna run, which you separated and wrote out, that's gonna run a total of about $7,200 roughly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're hoping to get that done for that.
Yeah, those frequency drives are expensive,
Yeah.
$4 grand or
That's
so,
gonna be $4 just for
with
that.
the installation and programming included.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we want to go over to GOA. We have a soft start on GOA number 3. And we need to look into how that is programmed. Last week we were over there, and it doesn't seem to be ramping up. It seems to be just coming on. So we're getting a lot of water hammer from
Just bam.
bam, just it's on.
It's supposed to be a soft start.
Yeah.
Would-
Should,
That's on GOA 3?
yes.
That's brand new well. Well,
Yeah. So I don't know if it ever,
relatively.
so I don't know if it ever got programmed. Because that
But
was right.
so the equipment is there.
Yeah,
Yes.
everything's there for that.
Yep, we just need to go through the programming to make sure it's programmed properly.
Who put that in? The soft start.
That was Ed, electrician Ed.
Is he's still doing that, right?
I haven't talked to Ed in a while. I can call him and see what he's, yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while. So I'm not sure. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, we gotta get that thing.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and
Okay.
again, so we're just trying to smooth out the cycles of the well pumps. They're short cycling, and we're just getting these hammers, and we just feel that it's contributing to some of the breakage that we're getting.
Yeah,
Yeah, then you get the mainline breaks because of the hammering.
Yep.
and I'd rather have the pumps run longer, a longer period of time personally, than
Yeah.
short cycling.
And then when they were in doing the heater panel, they noticed the breaker box had signs of arcing at GOA. So that one probably needs a new internal breaker box. That's GOA.
Is it attributable to one of the wells out there, or is it just the breaker box itself? They're all feeding into it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's old.
It's old.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wires going into it.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's $3,000, okay. And then I see the 1,000 programming, that's for the soft start,
Right.
which should have been done from the start by Ed.
We don't know that it wasn't. I mean, it might have been a power issue.
Yeah.
We can't, I don't know
That
that
spiked
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, and then
I
wiped
got
out
it.
the program or something.
Okay.
You know, and then that well number 3 was put online after Randy and Ed kind of departed, so I don't know where that was at. You know, 'cause that was, you know, took forever to get the engineer to get the drawings, so that just got drug out, so I don't think we've lost track of what happened.
So
I wasn't here
So,
Bob wasn't really involved in that
so
either.
we just wanna clean it up.
No, I
That's
got
all
you, I
we're-
got you.
We're asking the ability to just clean that up.
So all told, you're at $11,200, and it is much needed. And I think
Yeah, that's all I got on that. If
Okay.
there's additional questions.
any questions from Jed or Jeremy?
I have no questions. This is Jeremy speaking. I have no questions. I think this upgrade, installing this frequency drive would be a wise decision. Especially considering all the updates and the things that we have coming in the foreseeable future. So I think that this would be something that the board should definitely agree upon.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Question? Yeah, that's what I was looking at. We got plenty of money to cover this without hurting the other projects and the large project that we have. So,
Okay.
Jed, do you have any questions?
I did have a question on the lead pump cycle. That would also control the chlorine feed pump. Is that at the pump site itself, or is that one of the peristaltic pumps?
It's at the well site itself. So, and that will control the peristaltic pump at the same time.
Okay, so you're expecting that fluctuation to be, you expect the fluctuation in the chlorine feed to be dictated by that too, correct? So you don't have a spike and then a low point in chlorine feed?
Right, yeah.
Okay,
We
I
expect
just
to
wanted to
handle that,
clarify
yeah.
on that. I have no other questions.
Thank you, Jed. Appreciate that very much. I followed almost 80% of that. So I'll be asking you later. Okay, no other questions. I'd like to call for a motion from the board on approving $12,000 for Oasis and GOA electrical improvements.
I'll make a
Alright.
motion.
Hi, Jeremy Bruckner, make a motion to approve.
Jeremy so moves.
I second.
Dorothy Moore seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Number 8, agenda item, Big John number 3, well project update.
Can I just ask one quick question? What, is that just approximate though? That's not that's just an estimate, right?
We hope to get,
He fudged it. Does that help? You did fudge it a little.
we bumped it up a little bit.
But
and if-
approximately then?
Yeah, cause when I was talking to the electrician, he didn't want to even give me a number.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I gotta just rip into the boxes and see what's there. I'm like, well, I can't go to the board with that. So we need a place to start. But I feel
So it's an
that
estimate.
this should be able to put in the breaker box, freight drive, get programming, run the wire out to the Oasis well. So we'll be able to do a bunch of cleanup for that. Okay, back to Big John,
Yes, sir.
or on to Big John.
Yes, sir.
I have Joe and I have a meeting with Kenny, another potential vendor, meeting tomorrow at Big John well sites to go over it, walk through the project with him, make sure that his bid, is adequate, covers everything that we need.
Just the drilling, Bob?
Just the drilling. So we're gonna go through the plans and kind of try to divide, see where we can divide, see what they wanna do, see what we can possibly do in-house. And so that's our meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
See where we're at with that. See if we can have potential savings to the district. So, that's,
Okay.
and then hopefully after that meeting, we can make a decision. You know, it's either one of the two companies, and we're going forward. So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Did you give a timeline on when he was coming up?
10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Thank you. Okay. All right, no board action required on that. Agenda item 9, booster pumps, planned future updates as funds are available, information only. Still you, Bob.
So as we look through our system, we have some booster pumps that do not run on lead lag. There's a set over at King's Ranch area that there's 2 pumps on the system, but in order for them to be lead lag or to be redundant, we have to physically go in there, pull the wires, put it into another starter to hook it up and then turn it to auto. So we would like to start going through the system and creating lead lag control panels and pumps for the system, so that we actually have some redundancy and it's not dependent on the operators to be there to be the redundancy. And this would, you know, provide better service to the owner users. So that's what we're kind of hoping there. Just going through and just making sure that we have lead lag on the booster pumps.
On all of them?
On all of them.
Done an inventory on them? Do we
So
have
I know one site that is lead lag, and that's Choya.
Choya's lead
It's the
lag?
only site.
Do we have an inventory on the number of booster pumps we have?
I don't have that.
Site location?
Yeah, I
not-
don't have that information on me right now, but I made a list of all the booster pumps at booster stations and all that.
Like a dozen or more?
Somebody else would call.
That's okay.
8. Yeah, potentially 8 sites.
Yeah. We got King's Ranch,
Upper and lower, yeah.
Wyatt, or not Wyatt, Happy Jack,
Choya?
April, Indian Hills,
That's okay. So Choya's the only site that you're aware of
I'm aware of.
that's running
Yes.
that way?
I think
Wow.
April might be, but I've been there before when the pressure was low, and pump 2 didn't kick on, so.
Okay. Thank you. Okay,
So,
yep.
yep.
Information only. Thanks a lot, Bob. I'm sure that'll come up in the near future, probably once you have a handle. You have corralled it. Agenda item number 10 is Whittington, the district's attorney of record. This is the discussion and a possible vote for approval on contacts and meeting with Mr. Whittington. The last time that the board approved contacts for Whittington, our attorney of record, was 2016. So it's been 7 years, and I would like to consider, and the board to consider, doing this again, because boards change, and they have changed in the 7 years. So what this would do, I would like to have a meeting with 2 board members and a member of management, and typically this typically involves more a financial aspect of the district than it does the operational side, although it can be both. So it would be, it's typically been the chair, but it doesn't have to be that way. My personal opinion, I think it should be the chair, whoever they are. And if they want to delegate it to the vice chair, or they want to delegate it to the treasurer because they have more knowledge of the situation, whatever the case may be, they can certainly do that. And Sarah, so there would be the 2 board members and Sarah meet with Mr. Whittington, because we haven't met with him, and do you know I know we met with him once, but
Oh, my memory doesn't go back that far.
it's a long, it's over a decade, way over a decade probably.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Okay, all right, in any event.
Somebody needs to call me.
So what I would like the board to consider,
I have a meeting, can I call you back?
I'd like the board to consider approving the chair, another board member, and Sarah Rabina to set up a meeting and meet with Mr. Whittington and let him know that there are certain things that have come up recently, like public records requests and some other things that may require conferencing with him on for either advice or opinion. Now I'm going to turn it over to Jed, Jeremy, and Dorothy. Any comments, you two, Jed, Jeremy?
Hi, Jeremy. Like to state that I think it would be within the district's best interest to have some type of legal avenue on standby to figure out, for one, to make sure that we are operating within our guidelines and policies that are given to us by the county and by the state of Arizona, as well as if we're so inappropriately approached, or if we are approached in a way that there's something that we can't answer directly as far as legal, I think it'd be best to have a legal aspect to be able to resort to.
Okay, good point. Jed, are you still with me?
Yes.
Do you have any input?
I just concur with Jeremy. I mean, just for the sake of everybody involved, it would, I think, be in the best interest of the district to, at least make contact with council.
Okay, Sarah, do you have any input? No. Well, then I'd like to make a motion. I would like to request a motion from someone to approve the chair having a call with the attorney and setting up a meeting for the chair, the vice chair, if you're willing to do it, Jed.
Yes.
Okay, and Sarah, and reestablish the relationship that once existed over a decade ago. Jeremy, would you like to make that motion?
I, Jeremy Bruckner, make that motion. Set up a meeting with William R. Whittington.
Thank you, sir. We have a second?
I'll second.
Jed, so seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'll call them sometime in the next week or so. Which brings us to agenda item number 11, which is our public request that has to do with policies and procedures to change the policies and procedures to disallow first through third degree relatives serving on the board or management team. And I don't know, Elaine, if you want to explain why you feel this is a good idea, or?
Certainly, I'd love to. First of all, having first through second degree relatives on a board academically, and if you do the research, is definitely not a suggested or recommended practice. In fact, having husband and wives serving on the board, and especially in positions where they handle all of the finances, is strongly, emphatically discouraged, and in fact, for most organizations, is not even allowed. And I think that the Water District needs to follow the best known practices, and that is to not allow first through third degree relatives to serve, including husband and wife.
I agree.
Great job.
I got cussed out by her son and nothing happened because it was Sarah's son. I agree, no family. Absolutely, I agree with that.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense.
Thank you, Elaine, appreciate that. Jeremy, do you have any input on first to third degree relatives serving on the board or management?
Well, I mean, there was a time when the people didn't really step up and want to take part and do what we're doing here. And I mean, we have a lot of new folks in the town that may feel that they could step up and do something. And so back when nobody really could or would step up, the parties that I'm beginning to think that this is referencing decided to step up as a partnership because they were a spouse as for the district.
Well.
So,
Thank you.
There's no policy, there's no laws, there's no guidelines from state, county, district attorney's office that says that relatives can't be on the board together. So,
No, there's not. There's only been 2 instances of husband and wife board members, and that's Dorothy and I, and also Bob and Sue Marley.
Marley, correct.
And they both were fantastic board members, absolutely fantastic. And there was no conflict, and they didn't vote the same all the time. So I'm not saying good, bad, right, or wrong, but there's a lot of special districts that have family members serving on the same board. I looked it up because I thought, maybe we're just out of sync here. But I looked up special districts and I went, well, they got the same last name. They must be relatives on the board. So there's not a lot of them, but they're out there. So, Jed, what's your opinion?
I tend to concur a lot with Jeremy, because I remember whenever there was a time whenever we couldn't find anybody.
Hold on,
at all.
hold your thought, Tom, Elaine.
Stop it.
I'm sorry, Jed. Please start over so I can follow the train of thought you had.
I was just saying that I tend to concur a lot with Jeremy as far as not being able to find any members of the community that were willing to step up to be board members, and so it's not just any nepotism going on or anything, because nobody's getting paid. We're all doing this on a voluntary basis, so I don't understand the argument there anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about it.
Actually, this might be a very, very good topic when you, Jed, and I, and Sarah meet with William Whittington. We'll bring it up there. He may have another thought process on it, or not, but we'll see. So at this point, may I have a motion?
Sorry, I think Bob is trying to say
Yeah.
something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bob.
That's okay, I was just gonna talk to you later.
Throw an eraser or something.
Or management teams. So
The management team.
Yeah, I got a question about that. I don't think, obviously you guys can hire or fire whoever you want, but to put that in a policy that we can't have relatives working in our companies?
Yeah,
Is that-
because
is that what
I'm
we-
my own contractor, so is Bob, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
is
How
that-
am I supposed, what if my wife wants to keep my books? That's totally legal, husband and wife.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you go to the management aspect of it, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, that's, they can't keep you from working with your wife.
Yeah.
So,
That's a-
as you
that's
go
a-
forward, you might wanna look at that, cause
That's an
that can
excellent
kill
point.
you from getting in various operation companies.
Mhm.
There's a lot of
Lose
them
good
are-
talent sometimes.
Yes, a lot of them are small and it's
Most of
husband
them are
wise,
small.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think of like, improvement district services, who are basically do what Sarah does. It's 2 sisters that own the company. So, they'd be out.
Pump Tech, same thing, 2 brothers that own the company, they'd be out. There's multiple, so it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. Jeremy, Jed, would one of you like to make a motion to table this for another agenda item at a future board meeting?
I make a motion to table this for a future meeting.
Is that Jeremy?
Yes, this is Jeremy.
Jeremy so moves. May I have a second?
I'll second.
still sound like Jeremy, but I know that's Jed. Jed seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion carries unanimously. Don't let me forget that. Bring this up with Woody. Okay,
Is there a board opening? Did I read that?
there is.
And when would that be
Point
filled?
of order.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, she's new here.
Yeah, point of order. I didn't have.
But you are right. Hold your thought.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you, sir. Okay. All in favor said aye, Motion carries unanimously. Already been there.
Table.
All right. Agenda item 12 is our public call. Members of the general public can address the board and make comments, suggestions, or complaints on the above matters, or any other issue or matter of concern during public call. Those wishing to address the board need not request permission in advance. Board action during public call is limited to individual members responding to criticism by the public, directing staff or a board member to study the matter, or placing the matter on a future board agenda. Mary, I'd like to start with your question, please.
Yes, it was. Is there
Mary Holdley?
Holdley? Is there an open board seat, and when are elections?
The open board seat is exactly that, and it doesn't require an election. It calls an appointment by the board, is how that seat is filled. And you have one individual that is willing to do it. You just gotta clear it with the wife. And his water's on. She didn't turn it on. But in any event, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I'll find out in the next week when she's back in town.
I have a question,
Yes,
just to clear up something, because it's been a long time since I've been to a meeting. Is St. John's Well the number 3?
Big John's?
Big John,
Yes.
and it's not running now?
It's a new well that we're drilling.
I think so.
Okay. Do they still have Gilbert Pump Company?
I believe Gilbert's still in business.
Oh.
You might try them.
Okay.
It's just a thought.
Yep.
I have nothing to do with them, I just know of them.
Okay, yep, they're in the valley, I love them, I never, they might still be around.
But this Big John was supposed to be in like 10 years ago, am I wrong? Not that
No,
long?
we took bids for it about a year ago for
Okay.
drilling.
Cause that's you only have 2 wells running now, right?
No, we have 5 wells.
5 wells?
Yeah.
Where have I been? Huh? Not on a meeting. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so there's 5 wells.
That was where I needed clarification.
Okay, yep, thank you.
And Oasis, is it on the east side, or do you have more than one on the east side of I-17?
They're all on the west side.
Okay, I thought Oasis was right up here.
It is, it's still on the west side, it's just right there on the
Okay, it
highway.
goes across.
It's
Okay.
next to the freeway, but it's on the west side.
It's on the side.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's it.
Yes, Mary Holmes.
Well, I believe the last meeting there was discussion about a possible development at the Greyhound track that approached you. I just wondered if there'd been any more discussion.
Haven't contacted me.
No engineered drawings, so we're stuck until we get them.
Yeah.
Am I right in remembering that you said you'd need some kind of hydrological study to determine whether or not you could supply their need? Or was that, did I make that up?
No,
I
you
did
didn't
not.
make it up because it was brought up, but we don't need a hydrology study done on it, hydrological.
No, we need a capacity study done.
Okay, that's
Yes, then
a way
that's,
to understand if what they want is you have.
Exactly, yep,
What do you call that?
capacity study.
Okay.
yes, Ms. Clayton.
2 comments. One, since a lot of education seems to be going on here this evening, I want to remind the board that meeting minutes are to be published within 72 hours of the meeting per statute, and that the board is not to wait to vote on approving the minutes until they're posted. And at present, the last meeting minutes posted, I believe, are for May of 2023. And this really needs to end because that is violating the statutes. And the second comment is, I just want to express my total disdain and disapproval about allowing married people to be on the board. And I think that very limited research was done on the matter. And most organizations or corporations, nonprofit and for-profit, they do allow family members to work for the same place, but there are guidelines that have to be followed. And that's different working in the field versus having family members serving on the board, where policies and voting takes place on the board, and having a married couple on a board voting and a married couple handling all the finances goes against every other organization's policies and procedures. And I think the awful thing about it is you guys are looking for a statute or some rule or regulation versus following the morals, values, and ethics of other profit or nonprofit organizations. So I just wanted to make sure my thoughts on that were known.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Watts.
Greg Watts, on the elections with the family, after you have council, if it's deemed it might be most appropriate in the next election cycle when the positions comes up, then maybe that won't be allowed at that point. But I do know with Bob and Sue Marley, and then you two, it's hard to keep a full board. And so if you weren't here, we would have one less board member and make it even more difficult for us. So I think the family part is because it's out of desperation. I could be wrong.
No, you're
just,
right.
You need it.
You're right.
And to me, the more the better. But when it comes up to the next election, if it's determined, and you've got people thinking both directions on this, that that would be something that should be run by your attorney. And I've thought about running for this board, and just like today, with the plumbing questions, the electrical questions, the booster pumps, and all this stuff, I don't know hardly any of that stuff. I mean, I'm afraid if I got on the board that, I'm going to get fried by the audience if I do something wrong. And
Never give you that.
yeah, but anyway, I do have water background, but it's not curtailed to what you guys do. And so, and then with the county rules and regs and Robert's rules, I mean, anybody that's going to get on the board, they have a lot of reading and research. So when they're here, they know what all's going on. I mean, if I got on now, I'm afraid I'm going to be violating rules I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
So
there's a learning curve.
But that's just my comment, because I think it's good to get the committee. Well, that's what you have to have. But getting qualified people and then wanting to come on here and then do it for free, and then subject to being on the whipping post if you do something that the public sees as wrong.
Right.
And so, some people can do great jobs, and the other ones, they think they do a good job, but somebody doesn't like the job they did. And so, it's kind of a mixed bag for me, but I appreciate people that are on the board and everything, and things could be run better or they could not. I mean, it goes both directions, but I just wanted to bring that comment to you all. And when it comes to the dog track, if you ever do learn how many meters or homes they want to put there, if that gets in the discussion before it actually happens, I would be curious as to what kind of demand that's going to put in our system. And I was
I'll
told,
email you once Bob gets an engineer.
And I was told in the past when they were going to put an RV park there, that I think our water department said, you got to put in a couple wells, and you have infrastructure, and you got stuff you got to do. When it came said and done, evidently they didn't want to do all that, so the project never happened. Because we don't want to put any costs to the owner users with the development. They should pay for everything. And and then I guess they would turn it over to you and give the wells to you, and you would maintain them after that.
That would be our plan.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much, Rick.
Thank you.
You got it.
Oh, Christine.
I just wanted to say, I think the exchange of information and the promotion of transparency, no matter who is like on the board or doing the, you know, the work, it's learning to me, and it's learning about how things work. Like it's completely different language, but it's always learning and being able to continue to learn, and you know, transparency helps with that, and these meetings it's helped me, and I haven't been to barely any, but I just know the exchange of information can't be bad.
Nope. Never bad.
So like, you know, even with Jeremy saying, you know, exchanging information, and sometimes it's big stuff. A lot of times you guys are dealing with a lot of big stuff that we don't understand. Some of us do understand it, but a lot of it I don't. But we understand a lot of little things, which helps us to want to learn about the bigger things, which might encourage somebody else to be on the board or to take active, you know, to participate more in doing what they know. You know, so that's all.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
What's not difficult to
Dave, what was
understand,
your name?
Michael Henderson? What's not difficult to understand is what a conflict of interest is, which is what this is. And going back to the desperation factor of like, we didn't have anybody else, right? I think that automatically implies that when there are people to take those positions, the person that took the position in desperation should step down voluntarily, right? When that desperate position is not desperate anymore, that conflict of interest should solve itself.
Yeah, I follow. Appreciate that input. It was easier to get board members pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but it was easier.
Everything seemed easier.
I think everything has
But
been easier
sorry to
pre-COVID.
But
Sorry
Sue
to tell,
Marley
so after.
only
Much
got on the
easier
board
it was.
because nobody else came forward. So
That's true.
Do you have a number that it's supposed to be on the board? 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Excluding,
Excluding
We're not
these
there.
three.
okay,
We're not
Actual.
members.
so, so you have 2 on the line and you 2.
Mhm.
Okay, that's why you need another one. And what is their qualifications?
Well, these two gentlemen, Jed and Jeremy,
They seem
both
very smart.
they actually are, and they both have water background.
They did, Jeremy, did he work for Rogers?
Got a little bit of water background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeremy and Jed both have, and no, Jed, you never worked for Coldwater, did you?
No.
No,
Well, the Jeremy name sounded familiar, that's why I assumed.
Jeremy Bruckner.
Yeah, that's okay. But you're looking for some qualifications for that 5th person.
Not necessarily. We're looking for someone that, you mean as water background, or, I wanna make sure I understand your question.
What does that person do? That 5th person?
Secretary.
Well, the open position is the secretary position,
Ah.
but the individual does the exact same thing that all the other board members do, except for the chair. The chair sets the agenda and has a little bit more, but, when we get a transcriptionist that does the minutes for us, then, Sarah,
Should be
management,
freed up.
will be freed up and have a little more time, because
That'll
it
be
takes some
good.
time.
I knew you needed a board member. Thank you for letting me know what position. I'm not interested. Believe me. Believe me.
Are you sure?
Positive.
You
And
don't even have to type.
I assume that's somebody from the community typically.
Yes.
Just like-
You have to be an owner of.
The owner of it.
User.
Registered voter.
Gotcha.
Registered
In
voter.
good standing.
How do you do good standing? Oh, the police haven't arrested you.
Exactly,
Or
yes.
no buried bodies in the backyard.
Real quick, we gotta wrap her up.
But whoever gets on the board, whether they're appointed or they're elected, that position has a term. You have to be in for so long. And if
Correct.
somebody comes in to fill because of desperation, And like you mentioned, they could resign if somebody else comes in. Well, I don't think anybody can come in until that position, time has been expired, right? Because I didn't think anybody, I thought, it was my understanding that if somebody resigns their elected position, let's say it's a 3-year position, that they can't, they can't leave until you find a replacement. Is that not true, or is that wrong?
That's the way it's written.
Yeah, you
but-
cannot resign.
Right.
Yeah,
But
so, okay, that's just,
circumstances
it caught it in my mind a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, circumstances, you
There's
know.
nothing, you
You're
can't
not gonna
stop a
make somebody-
person from going, I'm moving to Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or Alaska.
And you need to be a registered voter, is that what you said, Sarah?
Yes.
Yes,
And have to be,
just in the state of Arizona.
Right.
they have to be in this
Hopefully
water
just
district.
only in the
Yeah.
state of Arizona,
And then-
right?
Oh, they need to be in this water district?
They would have to be in this district, yes.
And not over on the other.
Either a renter or an owner.
I'm with her.
Mr. Streezak.
I'm still learning.
Thank you, Dave. Can you tell us what efforts have been made to get somebody for that position?
Absolutely, word of mouth.
Yeah,
Word of mouth for the position that's been open how long?
It's been open a long time.
It was in our newsletter with
So is that like
consumer
just
confidence
like
report.
family and friends kind of word of mouth? or-
We've done a little advertising.
Facebook.
No,
and
it's been
a lot of people wouldn't wanna do it, it's too much
Okay.
work for nothing.
One quick one.
Yes,
Do you have
sir.
any idea what the Winnington consultation is going to cost? Any estimate or anything?
No clue. Attorneys are extremely
They are
expensive.
expensive.
Okay.
Extremely expensive.
And when you do that, will that be reported like as an expense at the next meeting or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that something you could shop?
No.
Well, based on the
Okay.
history of the, attorney fee spending.
Excuse me, excuse me.
The rules.
Jeremy, did you say something?
What?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't.
It's almost 6:30, so if there's nothing urgent, we gotta get out of here. The library starts kicking people out at 1:45. I think 7 o'clock is our closing time.
All right, you got it.
Thank you all for attending. It's been fantastic. The time is 6:27. Our next board meeting
Yep,
is.
I'm standing right here until, can you bring it up here to put away?
Yeah, we actually.
Okay, that would be good, because I would like to
October-
find space. Mike, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Do we pick up the chairs?
October 24th is our next board meeting. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you, Jess and Jeremy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
I manage a team of cloud engineers.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds,
Here are all the servers.
Thanks, Jim.
so you're the IT guy?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.